we've gone full hazmat on your asses. Oh, there's a dead bird. All right, this is embarrassing. Someone asked what happened to our first boat, and we've made a lot of mistakes with this project.
Our mission is to save these incredible abandoned lighthouses using new technology while preserving the history and helping the environment of the Chesapeake Bay. We are the Lighthouse Centers.
I'm trying to figure this out. This is the first floor of Hooper Island Lighthouse. It's the main living area. So we have the front door where we come in, this gorgeous view of the bay at all times. And here's where the kitchen, some kind of kitchen was in the past. And these cabinets are horrible. We're gonna tear those out, put a new kitchen in here. Got some nice storage cabinet there where the stairs go down into the basement. And then here's what we're using for a sink right now on the table and stuff. But I'm trying to figure out where we're going to put this awesome marine toilet that we got from Raritan, the Marine Elegance.
Raritan Marine Elegance.
And I thought, why not convert this storage closet into a very small bathroom? So you have the stairs that go around in a curved formation up to the different levels of the building. So we have a closet in here that's kind of going down like this. You can see where the stairs bolt on. And there should be just enough room to have the toilet in the back and then maybe just a little tiny sink on the wall, and we'll have an awesome little half bath. So I'm gonna clean it out. There's a lot of stuff in here, cleaning supplies and things that were here when we took over Lighthouse. We never really cleaned that out. So let's get to it, clean it out, and see what that looks like in there.
First aid.
Very important. This should go right under the sink. Gotta have
Shovel in here.
Yeah.
Could have used that the other day.
Good.
Well, it's not big, but it goes back far.
Yeah. Is there an osprey in there?
Yeah.
Are we ever going to use a spray bottle?
Stretch wrap. Adult poncho.
With the Lighthouse logo on them.
Battery-powered fans. Good.
Really cheap shelves.
Camp shower.
I want this away from the door so we can get the feeling of what it would be like using it as a bathroom. Wow, these are real crap.
Whole fan.
Think about this lighthouse. It had lots of fans and lots of mops. No shortage of fans or mops. And spray bottles. How many spray bottles do you need? Oh my God, more spray bottles. What were they spraying with all these spray bottles?
You're gonna have to like crouch.
Oh, not gonna work? All right, well, we have to remove this shelf. And there's, I mean, I'm 6 feet tall and I can stand in here and then squatty potty. I guess you'd have to get down
It's gonna be a little weird.
To be a squatty potty. And the sink right here. But I think after we get this, we can remove this right now and get the feel for it.
Yeah?
Alright. Interesting. Oh, there's a dead bird in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I wonder how it ended up all the way in there. Now that the light's on, I can say I really didn't do a very good job cleaning it out, but we got enough we can see. First of all, the floor is going to be beautiful when we get sanding and finishing these floors. But let's put the toilet in there at the place where it's going to be. Actually, let me get rid of the bird first, because that'll freak people out. It's flying away! Rip burb. Okay, burb is gone.
It's a weird bathroom.
Yeah, I mean,
God, that looks weird.
doesn't. Well, we could put a
Yeah.
put a wall there, but I mean, if you get up and slam your head right there, I don't know. We could probably buy a few more inches.
Someone that's really excited about going to the bathroom. They jump up from the toilet.
Yeah, I did it like a little kid. This comes down, so this can be removed. That's going to give us a couple more inches. There's paint falling off everything. Going to hear about that. So I mean, it would work. I mean, we've all seen maybe like RV bathrooms and things that are super tight, but it's better than losing space out here. Or when we could build this out a bit, but I mean, for what? You know?
No, I think it makes sense.
It's
It
comfortable.
just looks funny because there's like an infinite.
Oh
thing
yeah,
going down behind
we'll
it.
put a wall there with a little door. Yeah, let me see what it feels like with the door shut. All right, so we're in here. It's not bad. You can spin around. Well, this little piece will be gone. I think it'll work. It'll make a nice, very small bathroom, but it's a small room. It's a small floor. Mm. It could go back more because you're out. You're only ever going to stand here. You don't stand behind the toilet. So
Depends how you use it.
as long as you clear this, then this is right about where it would be.
What about for people that straddle toilets?
I don't know. That's for a different kind of YouTube channel. I think this is great. All right, let me get my paper again. We'll finish the video the way we started it. I think I figured it out. Yeah, we're gonna pop up on screen?
Yeah.
No, I gotta do a better one. Wow. Ow. Wow, it was perfect the first time. Now I'm nervous.
I'll just cut it. We already
We're gonna
have
pop
it.
up on
It's
screen.
fine.
So you've heard of time-lapse trivia and you watched it and you loved it, and now we're going to try something called time-lapse Q&A, where we take these parts of the videos where we have to show a lot of the progress being done, and we have these long segments which are awesome that actually show the transformation of the lighthouse and the work being done. We want to make it extra interesting for our viewers who may have attention deficit disorder, which I think we both have. So what we're going to do is we're going to answer some of the most common questions that we get very often in person and in the comments. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and we're just going to cram all that content into our videos and just give people as much information and as much of a spectacular viewing experience as we can. All right, this is embarrassing. So someone asked, what happened to Hopper? Hopper was our first boat, and we've made a lot of mistakes with this project, and I'm not ashamed to, you know, we decided we're going to tell the whole story, because this is an inspirational story of accomplishing things, and I want people to know we've made a lot of mistakes and we've had a lot of bad things happen. So Hopper was this really cool boat that we bought. It's a 25-foot Parker fiberglass fishing boat with a full cabin and everything, and that's a pretty heavy boat, weighed over 5,000 pounds. So we bought that boat because we thought we'd be hauling a lot of equipment out and back. And it turns out we do haul a lot of stuff, but we can't fit it in a smaller boat. But the thing is, when you have a big boat, it's subject to the wind and waves a lot more than the smaller boat, and it pulls very hard on the lines.
I mean, it's just harder in general to navigate. It's harder to drive. That thing didn't steer as well.
Yeah, it was an old boat.
Pulling up to Lighthouse was it was
in 1989.
The three-man operation every time we pull up to Lighthouse. It was really hard to dock off and try and, like, it's
just pushing and holding the boat away from the lighthouse when wind and waves were hitting it. Like, we almost got hurt a couple times. So it was very hard to use, that boat, and it was old. And one time we blew the steering line and we had to get towed back. And then a storm hit while we were being towed back. And I felt so bad for the Hoopers Island Fire Company, because those guys were getting rained on and stuff to come and save us. But so what happened? So then one day, so it had these old controls, and we have a different boat at a different lighthouse where the controls are different. And so I went to put it in neutral, and it has the forward and reverse on one side and the throttle on the other, down and up. So you want your transmission in neutral in the center, but you want your throttle all the way down. Well, I wasn't thinking, and I put the throttle up in the middle. So I started it up, and it went, and it just started, the engine was just gunning. So I went to throw the throttle down, and I grabbed the transmission and I threw it into reverse with it fully engine gun. So I neutral slammed it into reverse, and the boat just went flying in reverse. But fortunately, because we were at the dock, it would have plowed into the dock, and you've seen like those videos of boats just like going. So as soon as it started going, it just sheared off the transmission drive shaft, and it just sheared it off, and it blew up the lower end. And I said, you know what? It wasn't the right boat for us anyway. So we sold it as is, and we took a loss. And it's still a really good boat for fishing and stuff, but not the best boat for a lighthouse. So we learned our lesson there, and we sold it at a loss, and we lost time, we lost money, but we gained knowledge and experience. And that's when we reached out to Highfield, and we got a Rib, which is a rigid inflatable boat. You'll see that nice little boat, and it's a little harder because we have exposure going out. Sometimes we get a little wet or whatever, but it's so nice to have a nice, small, new, reliable Highfield boat that's perfect for what? Unsinkable, because it has these chambers of air, and just perfect for what we're using it for. And that's what happened to Hopper. Hopper is not dead. Hopper is we sold it to a guy.
Dead to us.
Yeah, you're dead to me, Hopper. No, Hopper is not. We love Hopper, but Hopper has gone on for another purpose of just being a fishing boat. Does this go anywhere? It's just a useless bolt. I'm just going to cut it off, and we're going to have to hammer it through. Oh. Great. I want to leave it in so we can just paint over it. Maybe we should pull it out. Oh, there it goes. So it's cormorant guano season. Most of the time out here at the lighthouse we don't have any flies, but there's a period of time towards the end of the summer when a lot of birds are in the area. And we hung this up last time we were out here and it really didn't catch any flies, but I can't imagine how many flies there would be if we didn't have this hanging up for the last about week and a half since we were out here. So the fly...
Wait, what do you mean it didn't catch any flies?
Last time we were out here it didn't
Oh,
catch
you didn't... Oh.
But since we were gone, I can't believe how many flies it caught. Look at this. It's gross, and we'll put a fresh one up. So that kept a lot of the flies down. There really aren't that many in here now because it caught them while we weren't here. Very nice. Okay, first of all, we don't want to include this because Thomas left the vacuum blower back at the car.
You drove the car back, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, I parked the car, but while I was cleaning the boat, you were supposed to load out. So anyway, we had this perfect blower that hooked up to the end of this and the tube that draws the air out of our work area and blows out here to give us clean air. And so we had to get a fan that we happen to have here, and we had to fashion a funnel around it.
It's Mr. Nuno's from the Teletubbies. I'll put it on screen. It'll make sense.
Yeah, so that way it recirculates, it gives us fresh air out there. So kind of extremely embarrassing because we had the exact right tool for the job and we left it on the car. So now we can hear people say, how does that even happen? When you have like literally 35 things to remember, it's pretty hard not to forget one. Take the choke off. All right, let's try. Oh, the fan came on. Wow, it really vibrates a lot.
Must be off balance.
Let's see how it's pulling from in here. I mean, it's pulling pretty well. Hey! Feels good, and we can turn it up. It's probably on low. For those of you who think we disregard safety, we've gone full hazmat on your asses. So,
Maybe.
after Bad Boy, I just can't stop saying stupid stuff. We've gone full hazmat now, and none of the paint, dust, or anything is going to come anywhere near me, and we're going to vacuum it all up, and we're doing this safely. So let's get to it. We're burning daylight. Small step for man, one giant leap for the restoration of this lighthouse.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Can't complain. A little hard to see. I want to change the lens. Everyone knows that we don't know much about boats, and we don't know a lot about the Chesapeake Bay or lighthouses, and we're learning, and that's what this channel is about, learning. But there's one thing we do know about, and that's industrial paint. Okay, I have 30 years experience of owning an industrial paint company, and the best thing to put on metal is an epoxy primer and a polyurethane top coat. And there's a product, so you might be asking, for interior, this is an exterior product.
You might be asking yourself.
You may be asking yourself, what type of paint is that? So we're using a Sherwin-Williams product called polysiloxane. I really like it because it is a combination of epoxy and polyurethane and also a silicone. It is extremely durable and rust inhibitive, and it has a super hard finish, so it's like scrubbable. So I really like the idea for interior walls, especially in the bathroom. You know, some of the other polyurethanes stay a little more softer. I really like the hardness of this paint and its durability. Remember how I was saying that being a YouTuber makes everything that you try to do harder, because you not only have to do it, but you have to capture it on camera. Well, also, you can't get the camera too close to where you're working when you're painting or you get paint all over the camera lens. So now I have to stop and clean the paint off and try to set up the camera in a place where it won't get ruined. I don't know. And this is some heavy duty industrial paint. All right, so I managed to get the paint off of the lens and the body of the camera. Now this is some serious industrial paint, solvent based. So I had to use a heavy duty solvent that cleaned off the camera, but fortunately didn't melt the camera or destroy the lens. So it must be a good glass. Shout out to Insta360 by Ace Pro. Maybe you should send us some more cameras so we can catch some more angles and not destroy them. The lonely life of a light keeper. I'm out here working by myself, destroying cameras, costing tons of money, and people are just out there fishing, which good for them, you know. Someday maybe I'll get there. Another question we get a lot is, how do you come to own a lighthouse as a private citizen? And we especially get this question from people in other parts of the world, like Europe, where, you know, the government would never let something like this go into private hands, or normally don't. The reason is that the lighthouses aren't needed as much anymore. They're still active aids to navigation. They still have the light, but people aren't needed to live out there to maintain the light. And as a result, the lighthouses have become neglected, and the government didn't keep them up. And the government decided it's not worth it to spend all this money to upkeep and restore the lighthouses. They thought it would be better to let the lighthouses pass into either like a nonprofit or public group or something, or private hands, and just let them maintain it. And the cool thing is, so we're not just maintaining the lighthouse. We did come up with a new purpose for the lighthouse other than just the light, and that is to have an environmental center to educate people and hold events. So that's how it happens. The government auctions them or gives them away to nonprofits, and that's how it came into our hands. So that was really annoying. We did the hardest, dirtiest part of our little first floor bathroom, stripped all the paint off, repainted with this awesome, super hard polysiloxane paint, very smooth and hard, be great for cleaning and scrubbing. And now we're gonna move on to the floor. So we have this old floor. This is some type of fir, maybe like a pine or a spruce or something. And it has some paint on it. So we're going to sand it all down, and we're going to go with a clear urethane finish on it after it's clean. So I'm going to get to sanding that. A very colorful lighthouse at one point, I think. Maybe the light keepers got bored and just painted stuff different colors. On the top we have this like dark red, like a red brick, which is nice. And then there's like an orange, level of orange, and then there's like a yellow. I don't know if this is like a southern yellow pine or something that's really a bright yellow. I've never seen wood that yellow. Maybe it's something from where it was sourced, or, you know, typical of the time and the age of the wood, but that's very, very yellow. So we've got brick red, orange, and yellow. Very colorful lighthouse. Oh, and then there's this like this whitish color. At one time it was white, and there's blue out there. So we've got red, white, blue, and yellow. Interesting.
So we actually have a question for you, for any fishermen that are following us. Why do some fishermen come out to the lighthouse, and they're only there for a few minutes. They come, they drop their lines. I don't know if they're looking at their different instruments. You mentioned something about a fish finder. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, the electronics today on boats is incredible. And I guess, are they coming out and just taking a look and leaving?
What are they doing?
I don't know.
If anyone knows,
why do you guys only come out for like 5 or 10 minutes? You come all the way out to the lighthouse, and then we say hello, we talk to them, and then they take off.
Yeah. So if anyone knows, drop a comment. Let us know. How does that work?
All right, now I'm super excited because I was really confused that the wood has this yellowish tinge to it, and it was because there was some yellow paint on it at some point. I thought maybe it was some kind of old yellow pine or something, some wood I haven't really come across. But now that I've stripped the top layers of paint, scraped them off, when we started sanding, you see this beautiful, old, dense wood grain that's coming out, and it's going to be so nice when we get the clear on it. It's going to really bring out that wood grain look, and these floors are going to be absolutely gorgeous. So I'm super excited about that. You can see the old wood. You see these lines here? You see how they were cut in an old mill. You see the horizontal lines here, or vertical across the grain. And then after that gets sanded, you see how dense that wood grain is. It's gonna look so nice. So I am super excited. I'm kind of a metal guy, I'm always blasting and painting metal at the shop, listening to metal music and stuff. But actually, I'm really a wood guy too. I live in a barn home that has a lot of oak beams and heart pine floors, and I just love old things. I love restoring metal, and I love looking at old wood that you really can't get anymore because it's all like fast growth new wood. So this is going to be awesome, and to think this was right here in the lighthouse. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to buy wood flooring and bring it in. We just have to sand and refinish this stuff. So super excited. Here we go. So I would say the question that we get the most, that we would love everyone to understand, is what are you doing with the lighthouses once they're restored?
What's our initiative?
Our goal,
yeah,
our mission is to restore the lighthouses and then use them for a greater purpose. So we want to make them accessible for lots and lots of people, bring people out, and we're going to be doing research. We're going to be doing environmental work. We're promoting the history of the areas that are around the lighthouses, and we are going to be demonstrating the technology that we're using to generate power and do different things with like our instruments and different things that we're going to be monitoring: water quality, weather data. We're going to have a weather station on the lighthouse. So the lighthouses, all three of them, are going to have multiple purposes, and and it also hosts events. So we're going to be hosting events that where we can bring people out and educate them and demonstrate all these kind of things.
And have them experience, being on the lighthouse. That's a very important part of it, is allowing people to experience the lighthouses when they haven't been accessible, or even, you weren't allowed to go out on them, even when they were accessible as, an average person.
Yeah, definitely. The lighthouse experience. Come on the lighthouse, and it is a life-changing experience where you can take in, the environment and feel the history of what it's like to be on a lighthouse, and it's an incredible experience. So that is the ultimate goal. It's multifaceted, the purpose of a lighthouse, and what we can do regarding the environment with technology, with the different things that we're doing, monitoring things in the bay. It's unlimited. We have so many ideas. All right, so I got the bathroom floor all sanded and wiped down and clean, and I wish you guys could smell this because It smells like Christmas here. The pine smell that came up from this 125-year-old floor. When I sanded it, it just smells so strong, like fresh cut pine or spruce or whatever it is. So it's Christmas at the Lighthouse, and we are going to apply this floor finish polyurethane stuff I just grabbed from Home Depot. It looks good. High traffic formula, abrasion resistant. I know a bunch of people are going to say that stuff's garbage, rah, or whatever, but I think it's pretty good stuff. I've used it before, and we're going to try it out here, and then we'll see if we want to use it on the whole rest of the Lighthouse. And speaking of Home Depot, it really would be great if Home Depot or Lowe's could sponsor us or let us become an ambassador, because we're going to be buying a lot of stuff from there to be used at the Lighthouse. So here we go. It's floor finish time, and you guys will see when it's done. Also, it is, what is it, like 10 o'clock at night? We wanted to get the finish on before.
Yeah, I lost track of time. I don't know.
Yeah, we go to bed. Want to get the finish on tonight. So we're working tonight. We're watching cruise ships go by, and but we're going to get it done tonight. We're almost done. I'm in the home stretch. Oh yeah, that moment when the polyurethane goes on. Look at that. Beautiful. Brings out the grain. Don't focus down there too much. This is going to be covered up inside of the, like behind the wall in the dark corner of the closet. So hopefully the beginning won't be the focal point.
Is this voiceover, or are you just talking to me? I can't tell.
If you like it, use it. I don't know.
I wasn't really paying attention, but
Well, don't use what I'm about to say now. It's quite clear that it's not as well sanded down that I could barely get in there. But man, look at that color. This is all behind the toilet, so right around here is where there's going to be a wall. The trim we're going to paint, that'll be painted white. But oh man, so nice. So somewhere around maybe here behind the toilet, there'll be a wall. So you won't even see anything back there. Here's where you'll see it. Now let me test, make sure. Yeah.
you'd sweep all that.
I think we're good. We might put a second coat on later, at a later date. But right now, here we go. Oh yeah. So nice. Smells not nice. Very strong smelling. So much for the pine smell, that's gone.
Yeah.
So the threshold is gonna be right there. So that this won't be seen, this edge will get covered up. Really didn't take much. This is the easy part. Hours and hours of sanding. And then a coating is like 5 minutes. It's supposed to be fast drying, not that it matters. make sure there aren't any puddles. And then
Didn't need very much, honestly.
yeah, I mean, that's it for the first coat. We might, you know, put another coat on, maybe sand and coat it if we have to, but that's it. So we gotta clean the dust off the walls. Oh man, it's really starting to look like a room now. When we get that second wall in there, it's gonna be a small bathroom, but it'll be beautiful. Let me get out of your way.
You sound depressed.
Really?
Yeah, you're like, wow. Finish the room.
Well, don't use that.
Usually you're like, all right, so I found myself hanging on the side of a lighthouse today, and...
You may be asking yourself, well, it's late at night. There's a big ship going by.
Yeah, but continuity of the video, they're not going to be late at night by the time they watch.
Okay, then don't use it. So we get this question a lot, and you may be asking yourself, what are some of the challenges that we have working out on a lighthouse? It's a beautiful day. The bay is like glass out here, so weather is not a problem. Absolutely perfect. But one of the major challenges at a lighthouse is space. So we have all these tools. We come out here, we have to live here. Here's some garbage that we have to take out down on the boat. Boat's down here. Want to get some old garbage out of here, but we have such limited space. So the first floor of the lighthouse, you see we have, where are we going to put all this stuff? We have buckets, pair of shoes going up the stairs. We're working in here, so it gets messy very fast. So we have basically this one floor that we have to stage our equipment. We're restoring this area right now, but we're also using the sink, cooking our food, eating here. Upstairs is the bedroom and stuff, so we're not sleeping here. But the problem is, anything we store down the basement, we have to go down that tight, long stairway, or upstairs, we have to go upstairs. So you want to try to keep everything here, but we're doing major construction here. We're working on our bathroom on the first floor, and we can't leave anything out on the deck, or else when we come back next time, it will have been blown off by a storm. So not only do we have to work and live in that area, but we have to store everything. So the fan, the generator, the vacuum, all of our equipment has to come back into this area, and it gets very messy very fast. And if you're someone like me, it just drives me crazy to see how messy it is. So I'm going to get to cleaning and organizing, and as we get parts of the lighthouse fully restored, then we can get our stuff organized into those areas, and it's going to get easier. But right now, man, it's crazy. We said we were going to show you guys everything, and it's really embarrassing and bothers me how messy it is. But because space is at such a premium out here, we have to get the old junk off the lighthouse, which takes a while, and our boat can only hold so much. And also, we have to be careful what we bring out here. We had a guy working with us, and he would bring all this crazy stuff out and say, just in case we need it. He was like that guy who goes camping and has like a huge backpack full of stuff he doesn't need. And we found all of a sudden we have all this stuff now to get back off the lighthouse. And even the smallest things is a real pain at the end of the day to have to bring down the ladder and pack on the boat and get out of here. So it's Sunday morning, and we stayed up late last night working till about 10:30 here, getting the coating on the bathroom, so when we got up in the morning it would be dry. And it is dry, and it looks absolutely beautiful. We have this old dense grain wood, similar to what you would see in a lot of old houses, and I'm very happy with how it came out. I'm just going to paint this quarter round that goes down the edge. I'm going to tape that up, get that painted, and then it's on to installing the fixtures. Should I make a joke about the quarter round going around? So it's like
Quarter round.
quarter round,
Round,
square.
quarter round.
Is it four times?
Square round? It's half round.
1/8. A quarter times a quarter is a 16th. So this is 16th round in 3 dimensions. Quarter round going round. It's like the band Rat from the 80s, Round and Round. All right, so I'm gonna paint this.
What is that?
Do you want to be in one of our videos?
Yeah!
Okay, what are your names?
Josie! Waylon! Jake!
You said you caught something. What did you catch?
Sea squirts!
What's a sea squirt?
Like, they're kind of like, they kind of look like cucumbers, but brown. And the water comes out of them.
Really?
And when you squeeze them.
Wow.
So it's like,
So what do you want to catch if you didn't catch it? If you're only catching sea squirts, what do you really want to catch?
spot.
Spot? Okay. Well, good luck fishing, guys. I hope you catch something. I'm gonna get back to painting. Check out our YouTube channel. You'll probably be in it at some point. All right, we finished the dirty part of the damn it. Finished the dirty work in the bathroom. Okay, so we got the bathroom mostly done, all the dirty work. We cleaned and painted the walls, cleaned and painted the floor, just did the trim. The trim's still wet. Floor looks amazing. I'm so excited about seeing forever this original, very dense wood grain, old growth grain that was brought out by the polyurethane. No stain, nothing, just polyurethane on the old wood. Looks awesome. And now we can go about installing the fixtures. We have our Raritan Marine Elegance comfort height toilet, and we also have their electroscan system that we're going to put in here, hook it up, and bam, we're going to have a full bathroom facility on the first floor. Very small, but just big enough. I mean, I've been in bathrooms in New York City that were about this size in some restaurants, so this should be just perfect for our needs. To pee forward, you're gonna have to be careful. So it'll probably be out this way a bit more. And this is really uncomfortable to film, but you know, things you gotta think about.